All right, let's talk through the round real fast. The rating, how everything was, and I got a decent amount of footage from a lot of the holes, so we'll be able to talk through all that. Hole 1 started out pretty good. Decent first drive. Honestly juiced it a little bit because there was a wind pushing against the disc, which held it in the air a little longer, but I threw my overstable grace and put it to about 45 feet past the basket, and it left me with this putt here.
Nice.
This honestly gave me a little bit of a challenge because at this point, the person who was one stroke ahead of me bogeyed the hole. And so I was up one, but I really didn't want to think about that. And this was a mental struggle I had the whole entire time. It was in my head. I was just like a mantra, like, don't think about scores, just play your game. Don't think about scores, just play your game. Don't check scores, don't think about scores, just play your game. And that's what I really had to do. Hole 2 was all right. I ended up kind of sawing it off a little early. I threw it a little flatter and a little more right than I wanted, so it hit a tree, and I was able to get a nice upshot in, which honestly was pretty confidence-inducing because it was like, okay, I could throw my Toro well, give myself a nice tap in. Don't even have to make a putt, because if I don't have to make a putt, I don't want to have to make a putt. Hole 3 ended up just throwing the perfect pure shot and parked it. And then hole 4, which was the one that has the really elevated basket. You probably saw it during the practice round video. I threw it past everything again, tried to lay off on my grace. Maybe should have thrown a Thunderbird, but I didn't want to leave it short. Either way though, if I'm not 15 feet away from that, I just pitched up, took an easy par because one of the people on my card, and this is what I was afraid of doing myself, ended up 2 or 3 putting it and took a bogey or double bogey. Then we get into a stretch that are kind of more easy holes. Hole 5 is a little difficult. It's only 260 feet, but you have to kind of go through this gap and up and to the right. But I left myself about 40 feet, made the putt, which was solid. My putter was feeling pretty good. Hole 6.
Boom. That's how you got up. Nice shot.
Thank you. Basically parked it, was about 15 feet past it, birdied that one. Hole 7, threw a nice little Toro chip shot, parked that one. Hole 8.
Get off. Oh, it fought. Nice. Let's go.
Parked it, like one of my best shots in a while. I threw my pure on a turnover line. And then hole 9, things started to go downhill a little bit. We got a little bit of a backup, and then there was a lot of wind for such a tight gap.
That's okay. Yeah.
Should have stopped in my head. That's the one thing I was telling myself not to do. So obviously I'm gonna do it. We can still dropping down 4. Ended up hitting pretty early, kicked out into the middle, but still had about 450 feet. So I took my river here, trying to get up into the fairway.
That. That could be really good. I don't know if it got around the corner.
Crap, but I was between that and a more stable finish. Same example as yesterday where I threw this. Instead of throwing that, I should have thrown this because it has more fade at the end. They're at the same line. We can still get up and down. Ended up throwing an all right shot. If it had more finish, it would have been pretty good. Would have been easily able to get up and down for the par, because that's all I was trying to take. I wasn't trying to birdie that hole. Wasn't trying to throw like a hero shot. Just trying to get up into the fairway, pitch up, take an easy par. Not quite that simple because I had to hit this gap in the woods with my Toro. Really scary because it was such a small gap. It was maybe like 4 disc widths wide. Woo. Scary. I don't trust myself on that one. That's such a scary line. Go in. Oh! I ended up hitting it, left myself 15 feet, made the putt, par, move along, just try to have a bogey-free round. I got 1 bogey yesterday, let's be bogey-free today. Hole 10, I ended up throwing a better shot than I did yesterday. No, it was way worse. My more stable Thunderbird, and just didn't throw it hard enough, didn't throw it left enough. Thought the headwind was gonna lift it a little bit, but it totally didn't, and ended up barely being able to find a lane to pitch out, take my par, move along and be happy. That was the name of the game for me. Pitch out, take my par, be happy. If I'm off the fairway, I'm not trying to do anything crazy. Just trying to play my game, knowing that not everyone's gonna be playing great. It's not necessarily the easiest course in the world. I wasn't trying to pay attention to what my card mates were doing, but no one was like having a crazy round. So I knew that we were all kind of in the mix there, relatively close within 3 or 4 strokes, and that's something that I can look at later if I felt like someone was getting hotter.
There's no win. No. Oh, mean train.
Hole 12, I just kind of shanked my drive, did not put it right enough, ended up fighting through a tree, getting left, and then I had this pitch up, which I was like, oh, easy pitch up, but I honestly didn't even think about it that much. Should have taken more time even on that layup. And that meant that I still had to make a putt for the par.
There we go.
And up to this point, my putter had not hit the ground. And so we're moving into hole 13, which is only 250 feet. And this is where I had a really bad miss yesterday. Not really bad, but like 20 feet, missed it. And so I landed in the same spot, and this was my time for the redemption putt. I freaking missed that high, dude. And honestly, that started the stretch of me not putting well. I was putting perfectly up until that point. 12 holes in, literally my putter had not touched the ground unless I was laying up. Hole 14, I threw just a monster drive.
Get stable. Let's try it, yeah. Great shot. That was nasty.
Thank you. Kind of better than I expected, but it also came out a little bit worse. It was a little too turned. I just need a more overstable disc than my ride, but I ended up throwing it probably close to about 400 feet because I had this putt for the eagle.
Come on, one time. Oh my God. That would have been a hell of a two.
Easy tap in birdie. I'll take that all day long.
Two more feet, man. Two more feet.
Two more, honestly.
Hole 15, I just kind of fluffed my shot a little bit. I threw it way too left. I was between Pure and EMAC Truth here. I didn't throw the Pure too hard. I just didn't hit my line with it, and it filtered through. Gave me a 25-foot putt uphill. Just missed again. Missed both my uphill putts for birdie. This is the second uphill 20-ish foot putt that I missed today, which is really unfortunate because those two strokes will mean something by the end of this video. Hole 16 was even more unfortunate because I kicked right after the 2-card backup. I was second on the box. Like, oh, I'm gonna try the air shot today instead of the skip shot, which I had tried the day before, because this is a really unreachable hole. I don't think there were any birdies on it the whole entire tournament. Someone birdied it in MPO, and that's it. So there's 1 birdie on 16 and 2 birdies on 17 throughout the whole weekend for everyone who played it. But I honestly left myself with a decent look, and I threw my Justice instead of my Toro, and I don't think I needed to have disked up to that. It's a blind shot, and I got to do a blind skip shot, so I got to just try to hit a line. I threw it a little inside. I ended up with a 21-foot putt. I stepped it out because I threw it, was not confident, ended up just hitting right side chains and dropping down outside of it. So my first bogey of the round, hole 17 is the next one, which is the one that I bogeyed the day before. I had thrown my most stable drive, so I was like, oh, I can get a little skip in. And I realized, hey, no one's birdieing this hole. I should just throw a Thunderbird, other Thunderbird. So I threw my less stable Thunderbird just on an easy forehand line, just kind of chipping it around because I knew I was probably gonna lay up anyways. All I wanna do is execute this par. I don't need to think about birdies. I don't need to think about any of that because at this point I had started to look at scores for my card and I saw that I was down 6. There were 2 people who were down 3 and 1 person who was down 1. Didn't look at who any of them were. I just knew, okay, I had 3 on my card. I was the farthest away from the pin off the drive, but no one was in position to birdie because only 2 people birdied that hole the whole entire freaking tournament. And I ended up just pitching up a really simple just jump putt, tapping in my easy par, and then we moved down to hole 18 where I actually finally checked scores and saw that I have 2 strokes. Why not? That didn't really have a lot of a bearing on how I was gonna throw that hole. I thought about throwing a turnover, but decided to just stick with my Toro forehand.
I thought that might get a skip at it.
Ended up throwing a really good shot and put it like 10 feet.
Yeah, good job. Good work.
And taking it down by 3, no doubter, Mr. Anthony.
Let's go. Just a little bit.
Congrats.
Finally got my first one. Also, this means that I get to do something that I literally bought, I think 2 weeks ago before my first tournament, because I have a ritual, I guess, that I'll talk to you about in a second. Unfortunately, my nice camera is broken, and I spent 30 minutes trying to fix it, and I couldn't. But here's the ritual I was excited for, because I'm gonna have to mark up these putters, and honestly add them to this box. I think I'll probably have to not do this ritual again after this, till I win my first MPO tournament. But way down here, where I actually keep my other trophies for the most part, but I already bought these when I was up in Michigan because of how cool they look. But I like to, when I win tournaments, replace them with new ones. And I had already bought these because I knew that I was gonna win one, and they were just super cool colors I'd never seen before. So we're gonna write on the back of these the tournament that I won, and then these are the ones going in the bag. Super exciting. I really felt like this was coming, and I was kind of surprised that from my first MA1 tournament, I had been getting podiums. I mean, third place, first place, not super bad. Hopefully I can get first again next tournament, but it's really just gonna be focusing on playing my game because I'm realizing that I'm good enough to win at the MA1 level. Not quite there at MPO yet. I was actually 2 strokes behind. I would have got third, but I wanna be consistently playing around 1,000 rated golf before I make that jump to MPO, because I'm wanting to go on the Pro Tour, and those might actually be some of my first tournaments next year. One more tournament, I think this year. There might be one more that I can swing on the way, and then we'll get into the off season. But I mean, I can't complain. I won my first MA1 tournament. The big takeaways being figure out your putt, because I did that for the first bunch of the round today and ended up making a lot of circle 1, circle 2 putts. Got to down 7 on my round with a bogey after being down 6 on my previous round with a bogey, having missed 3 inside the circle putts, like 20 footers. Definitely need to continue working on that consistency, but that round rating is still 985. So if I would have made 2 of those 3 inside the circle putts, regardless of how else I was throwing the disc, I would have got my 1,000 rated round. Play your own game. I was not stressed about other people's scores, and I knew if I play as best of my ability, I can probably win, because I have not been playing the best of my ability these other tournaments. I've been trying to win, and now if I play the best of my ability, I can win. Hey, I also just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I should be getting monetized around today as you guys are watching this video. So thank you so much. And this is really going to help a lot of my dreams with disc golf come true, like playing on the Pro Tour. I'm planning on eventually having some discs with my logo and everything to sell to you guys, but we're planning on being in Baja, Mexico, so I don't know how to fulfill that when we're down there. But if you guys want some merch, some minis, I have them already. If you see me, definitely ask for one, I'll give it to you. But merch, discs, if you guys want some of that, definitely let me know. I just appreciate your support and how fast this channel's growing, and I have so much fun and crazy things planned and a lot more videos filmed that are going to be coming. Go ahead and check out this video right over here, which is rounds 1 recap, and this video, which is the practice round, which honestly led to all this success because practicing the course was really helpful. See you probably tomorrow. I'm posting videos all the time now.